Right fellas, welcome back to a brand new video. Now there's a lot of talk online at the minute about the Escort Cosworth that's coming up through auction through WB and Sons in Newcastle. Now it's an ex-police rapid response car. It's white, looks mint. The thing is, about 2 months ago I went to see this car. I believe it was up for about £23,000. It wasn't listed as a police car, it was just listed as an Escort Cosworth. I spoke to the lad that was selling it. He had just bought it from someone who had put it in a garage 10 years ago. It had been left forgotten about. He's told me that started to convert it into a rally car, and then obviously work stopped, so the car just sat in the garage for like 10 years, was in bits, there was no interior in it, it was just basically left in a garage for 10 years. And when I went to see it, the lad who had bought it took it to his house, put it under the tarpaulin on his drive. Now, when I went to see it, I went with every intention. I was saying to my girlfriend, I was prepared for the fallout. I was like, Amy, I'm going to end up buying an Escort Cosworth here, I'm sorry. It was white, it had the cloth interior. It was just everything I wanted in an Escort Cosworth. I like the white ones. Anyway, I got there and it was just too rough. I remember the carpet was up, or you could move the carpet. Now I remember looking, thinking it needs a floor pan. It needed an ear pillar, something with the ear pillar. I think there was a little hole in the ear pillar. It needed some work done on the ear pillar, and there was some work needed doing on the bulkhead that fitted like a rally pedal box. So I left the car, I didn't buy it. It was then sold, someone bought it, and I think they've put it back together, but just so it looks like an Escort Cosworth. It's not running, it doesn't drive. I don't think it's got drive shafts in at the minute. But that is the stage where this car is up to now. Now, like I say, when I went to see it, nothing was ever mentioned. I don't think, because my memory's terrible, too much when I was younger, but nothing was ever mentioned about it being a police car. So what I would say is, I cannot confirm, me personally, I cannot confirm this is an ex-police car. I am basically just going off what people are saying on the internet. So let's head in the car. We're going to get in the car, we're going to go to WB and Sons auction house. It's local to me, it's about 20 minutes away. We'll head in the car, we'll go and look at the car, and maybe we'll go back when it's up for auction, and I might put a cheeky bid in, because it's quite interesting being a police car. But let's get in the car, we'll head through, see the car now, see what it looks like, because obviously it's going to look a lot different. Let's go. Right fellas, so we're here at WB auctions. This is the car we've came to see, and like I mentioned, I seen this about 2 months ago on a lad's drive in Newcastle. This is an ex-police Escort Cosworth. Bit of a project, as you can see, but even as it sits now, I think it just looks absolutely amazing. Absolutely love it. It is unrunning. Has it got extensive history with the car, mate? Sorry, I'm just talking to the big file. There's a big file of history with the car. Now, like I say, when I seen this, it was a bit of a project. It wasn't as built up as it is now. When I seen it, it was under a tarpaulin in Newcastle. It didn't even have a door on. Since I've seen the car, someone's bought it, and I believe they've put it back together, so it is now rolling, and as it sits here, cool car, cool bit of history. When I did see it, there was no seats in, the dashboard wasn't in, the carpet was up. I do believe it actually does need a floor pan. If you look down here, there's a bit of rust in it, and you can also see it's got an aftermarket pedal box in. I was told someone was making it into a rally car, so if you look under the bulkhead, it does need some work on the bulkhead to get like the standard Escort Cosworth pedal box back in. Right, so you can see under the bonnet, you can see here where it's had some work done on the bulkhead. It's not as bad as it seems. You would have to fix this, I think, but you can just put a Sierra bulkhead in. I believe that will fit. You don't need to find an Escort Cosworth bulkhead, but it isn't running. You can see it's not plumbed in, there's no wiring. It does come with a wiring loom, and it looks like it's the original wiring loom, and what it looks like is someone has basically chopped through the wiring loom for some reason, and they've added about 2 foot of extra wires, so it's all white. So it does need something doing with the wiring loom, but just such a cool restoration project. Obviously it's got the different wheels on. I assume someone is going to buy this and put it back to standard, put the jam sandwich stripes down the side and just make it look the way it was. But such a cool car, such a cool piece of history, needs preserving, needs putting back to the way it was, in my opinion. But that was the main things I noticed with the car when I went to see it. I did go to see it to buy it, but I don't know, maybe it's a bit too much work for me. But like I say, it does need the bulkhead, a bit of floor work, and I believe there's some work on the ear pillar needs doing. which you can't really see behind the fiberglass wing. It's got the wrong arches on. It's got fiberglass arches. It's got the WRC arches, which personally I prefer, but on this car it does need putting back to original. It has had a reg plate change, and one thing I do like about it is it's got the cloth interior. It hasn't got the leather. I believe there's a gearbox with it as well. I imagine it comes with quite a big box of spares. Nice seats as well, all these Recaros. And I think behind here as well, I think there's a bit of rot behind here. Can you see there? It's not too bad. I believe there is something on the ear pillar that needs fixing, but I mean, you've got to remember this is an old car. Such a cool thing, such a cool thing. But like I say, most of the Escort Cosworth parts are here. So after a little bit more research, I did look on WB & Sons YouTube channel, where they've got a video on the car, and it says in the comments that they have found a little bit more information out about the Escort Cosworth. It turns out that this Escort Cosworth was originally a Ford demo car, and it was sent to police stations for the police companies, for the police stations to test out, see if they wanted to order an Escort Cosworth police car. Now, as for the registration plate change on the car, I'm not too sure. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's some kind of private reg plate that's on the car and you can just take it off and put the original plate back on the car, which is personally what I would do. I would want the original plate back on the car. And as for the missing VIN tags under the bonnet, maybe the auction house has those in the history file for some reason. Maybe they've been taken off when the car was getting prepared to be painted. I'm not sure. I didn't actually go into too much conversation with WB & Sons. I should have, but I didn't. So like I say, maybe them VIN tags that go under the bonnet are in the history file with the car. I don't know. The car will need, I think personally, it will need a full restoration. There's a few marks on the shell. I don't know if the stress cracks. I didn't really give it too much attention, but I mean, you've got to imagine this is an ex-police car, especially an ex-demo car, so I think it's going to have had a pretty tough life, but it all adds to the car's story. It's part of its history. It's what makes it so special in my opinion. But either way, to me, it's just such a super cool car. Tell you what else I've just noticed, fellas, in the auction house. Oh, it's a replica. You can tell by one of the things I look for is a brake caliper. A genuine Cosworth has a brake caliper on the back side, not the front, but I mean, it still looks cool, doesn't it? We've got a Fiesta X, oh look at this, an RS Turbo, a Fiesta RS Turbo, two XR2s, a Capri. So if you're interested in the car, fellas, it is up for auction on the 15th of July, which is about a week's time. I will leave full links below to the WB auction house, where you can go and view the car. The auction house is open, you're welcome to come down, have a look around, see the car yourself, but I will leave links to their website if you want to bid on the car. But whoever buys it, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you make a good job of restoring it, because it is such a cool piece of history. But yet again, fellas, thanks for watching, and if you've got any information on the car, leave something in the comments for people to just, I don't know, for people to check out really. But yet again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.